The iron gates of the mansion slid open far earlier than anyone inside expected, the sound echoing through the long driveway as Adrian Blackwood's car rolled in under the late afternoon sun. Adrian was a man known across the city as a self-made millionaire, ruthless in business, precise in routine, and emotionally sealed off ever since the tragic accident that had taken his wife's life 3 years ago. He was never supposed to be home at this hour. Board meetings were scheduled until nightfall, contracts waiting for his signature, investors expecting his presence. But something deep in his chest had felt wrong all day, a strange restlessness that refused to let him focus, and on impulse he had canceled everything and driven home, convincing himself it was just exhaustion. As he stepped out of the car, adjusting the cuff of his tailored suit, he noticed something odd: laughter. Real laughter. Children's laughter. The sound froze him in place. That was impossible. His estate had been silent for years, filled only with echoes and the polite murmurs of staff who knew better than to disturb him. Adrian's heart began to pound as he followed the sound into the garden, his polished shoes crunching softly against the gravel path. Then he saw it, and the world tilted. Beneath the old oak tree where his wife once loved to sit and read, a wooden swing was moving gently back and forth. Sitting on it were 2 small children, twins, no older than 2, their cheeks rosy, eyes sparkling, tiny hands gripping the ropes as they laughed uncontrollably. And pushing them, smiling with a tenderness Adrian had not seen in years, was the new maid he had hired only weeks ago, a quiet young woman named Clara. For a moment, his vision blurred. His breath caught. His knees nearly buckled. He gripped the trunk of a nearby tree as if the ground itself had betrayed him. Twins. Laughing. In his garden. It was as if a scene from another life had been stitched into his present without permission. Memories crashed into him, hospital corridors, doctors' grim faces, the words, "You'll never have children," whispered tears in the dark beside his wife. Adrian felt dizzy, his mind screaming that this could not be real. Clara noticed him then, her smile fading as she turned pale. She quickly stopped the swing and stood protectively in front of the children, fear flashing in her eyes. "Sir." I can explain," she stammered. But Adrian couldn't speak. His gaze was locked on the twins, on the way one of them tilted his head exactly like he did when confused, on the familiar dimple that appeared when the other laughed. His heart hammered painfully as he finally managed to whisper, Whose children are they?" The garden seemed to hold its breath. Clara swallowed hard, then gently took the twins' hands. They're mine," she said softly. The words hit him like a blow. His first instinct was anger, sharp, cold, instinctive. He had strict rules. No personal matters. Northwest children on the estate. Yet even as that anger rose, it collapsed under the weight of something far heavier: confusion, awe, and a strange, unexplainable pull toward the children. Adrian turned away, struggling to steady himself. He felt foolish, weak, almost faint. "I never approved this," he said tightly. Clara nodded, tears welling in her eyes. "I know, sir. I never meant for you to see them like this. I had no one to watch them today, and they were so quiet. I thought." One of the twins suddenly toddled forward, tugging gently at Adrian's suit jacket. "Up," the child said with a grin. Adrian looked down, stunned. No one had touched him like that since his wife. His throat tightened, emotions he had buried for years clawing their way to the surface. He slowly knelt, meeting the child's eyes, and something inside him cracked wide open. Overwhelmed, he stood abruptly and walked away, his head spinning. He locked himself in his study for hours, pacing, replaying the scene again and again, unable to escape the image of those laughing twins beneath the oak tree. That night, sleep never came. By morning, Adrian demanded answers. He summoned Clara, his voice calm but strained, and listened as she told her story, how she had lost her husband, how she struggled to survive, how the twins were all she had left, and how this job had been her last hope. As she spoke, Adrian felt something shift. Her pain mirrored his own more than he cared to admit. Days passed, then weeks, and despite himself, Adrian found his rigid routines unraveling. He began coming home earlier, not by accident this time, but on purpose. He watched from a distance as the twins filled his silent mansion with life, their laughter seeping into rooms that had known only sorrow. Slowly, impossibly, the darkness he had wrapped around his heart began to loosen. One evening, as he pushed the swing himself, the twins squealing with joy, Adrian felt tears slide down his face, unashamed. He realized then that what had nearly made him faint that first day was not shock alone, it was the sudden, terrifying return of hope. He had come home early expecting emptiness, but instead he had found healing waiting for him beneath an old oak tree. And if this story touched your heart, if you felt that quiet reminder that life can surprise us when we least expect it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because more powerful, emotional stories like this are coming, and you won't want to miss a single one.